How do you make people think that you're the boss, like Giovanni? You stand around and do nothing. But regardless of dad jokes, it does look like they finally have switched over depending on your time zone. You're basically looking for what Niantic said was going to be midnight, March 27th. Some of you may be watching this in the future or whatever. It's just based on your local time zone. They didn't really switch it on though until about 5 a.m. But okay, let's go ahead and get into this. Of course, this Persian right here, it's the fight's going to go very differently depending on whether it has Scratch or whether it has Feint Attack. And so this one has Scratch. With that, you're really going to want to resist the Scratch. Either way, it is obviously important to know that Persian takes super effective damage only from fighting. So of course, you may be asking, why am I not doing that? Well, Galarian Stunfisk for one, it's sort of this like budget option. So if you don't have, let's say like Cobalion with Sacred Sword, maybe any of the Swords of Justice with Double Kick, Sacred Sword, etc., Terrakion, you know, I'm aware that people don't have those all the time. And so these videos, typically we do try to stay under that 1500 CP threshold, so below the Great League levels, and oftentimes that means Pokemon that are not legendary. So anyway, like I say, Galarian Stunfisk right here, sort of that reliable, gonna resist Scratch, so that's great, but the other component of it is that it's got a really spammy fast attack and charge attack combo, so if you have those two things, you're gonna be set up usually pretty well here. And now another Pokemon that's great generally against Team Go Rocket, like as a whole, just in the whole timeline that Team Go Rocket has existed in Pokemon Go, is actually gonna be Poliwrath. Now Poliwrath, the cool thing also is that it's semi-recently had a community day, sort of recent at the time of this recording, but that would actually give it counter as its fast attack, and so you may kind of rather use that actually against this Giovanni lineup right here. But we would obviously want fast attacks that can generate a lot of energy per hit, but then charge attacks that don't really require a lot of energy to fire off. And this is really just for people that struggle with Team Go Rocket. These videos, they're never really intended for somebody who wants to just like outmuscle Giovanni or any of the leaders or whatever. Like they're gonna go 3500 CP or higher, you know, just Kyogres, Giratinas, Kyurem, whatever. So again, you're in the right place if you usually kind of struggle with Team Go Rocket, because having that spammy fast attack and charge attack here, one thing that I teach in all of these videos is that the Team Go Rocket side, like their Pokemon are going to stand still for almost 3 seconds every single time that you use a charge move or every single time that they use a charge attack, so it doesn't matter who does it, but also switching your Pokemon or if any of the Pokemon faint. So either side, that could be you or Team Go Rocket, upon every switch or faint, charge attack, that's all time that you want to not use your charge move, right? Because if Team Go Rocket's not going to be attacking you or doing anything, then you should over-generate that energy. It'll stack up, meaning like you could, for instance, with this Poliwrath, keep using that Mud Shot, keep using counter if that's your fast attack, which I would recommend right now, and over-generate that energy. So even though it looks like, hey, I can use this charge attack right now, wait until just before Team Go Rocket's going to attack. So for instance, with Rhyperior, we had a 1, 2, and then on the third attack, that's when Rhyperior sends out this smackdown, and so I guess we are going to defeat it right here. I was actually kind of hoping to show you guys, but that's okay. We can do it maybe with Groudon here in a second, but Groudon, of course, Giovanni's new final spot Pokemon. You can see that I'm trying to get all the life that I can out of this Poliwrath, and then I'm actually going to let it faint. We're going to switch to one Pokemon, do a few hits to generate some energy, and then switch out again, so that'll allow us to use that stun time that I was talking about before, you know, that like 3-second stagnation period. So that'll be great. And there it is. We're gonna get one power-up punch. It looks like this will be the time that Poliwrath faints. And so Groudon, one thing I guess that we can say just to interject here is that it can have a dragon-type fast move like this one does, which is Dragon Tail, or it can also have Mud Shot, which is obviously a ground-type attack. And oh, I timed that awful. Okay, so that wasn't supposed to happen, but it's gonna be all right. Okay, what we're gonna do, actually, this is good. I can demonstrate for you guys, sort of like a mistake. But Empoleon, the cool thing is that it is gonna deal water-type damage right here. We got Hydro Cannon with this one. So that's nice, but it's part steel, so it is going to resist the dragon of Dragon Tail. But for instance, oh god, this lag, dude. We almost actually died to the lag. What the? Are you guys seeing this? Oh my gosh, Niantic. Man, they almost ruined us. Wow, so that was actually down to 1 hit and 3 seconds left. That made it look so much closer than it should have been. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope that was entertaining nonetheless. But, like I was saying, the Galarian Stunfisk in this case would have dealt super effective damage as well with that Muddy Water. before, and it would have resisted only if the Groudon had Dragon Tail like this one. Now, if it had Mud Shot, that would have been bad news. So you do want to keep type resistances, strengths, weaknesses, and stuff. Like, you want to keep all of that in mind. Address the fight, always. Every single Team Go Rocket fight that you struggle with, address it based on the moves, typing, usually of just the fast attack that Team Go Rocket is throwing at you. We should have more videos to come. This was just the first look, but click an end screen on screen to see another video, and thanks for viewing.